Today, I am heading back to the United States of America after almost 9 months outside of the country, and I'm going to take you guys along for the journey. This is going to be interesting. There's probably going to be a lot of reverse culture shock. We'll see. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, my name is Ryan from Elevate Cyber. I am currently working remotely in Bangkok, Thailand, and I've been here for several months now. I've been traveling around as well, saying bye to Mudang, saying bye to Thailand for now. And yeah, but first I got to pack, which is not the most fun. So let's get into that. All right, so I've been in America now for almost 2 weeks, I guess about 10 days, and I have a pretty good grasp on some of the differences and the culture shocks. We'll talk about that, we'll get into that. First of all, let me say that after being in Asia for so long, I find it pretty boring in America. Now, I gotta take it with a grain of salt, caveat to say, you know, both of these countries are big places. America especially, you can get a wildly different experience depending on where you are. My dad lives in a pretty rural part of North Florida, so can't really, it's not a fair comparison to compare it to the major cities in Asia that I'm living in and stuff, but it does feel like I'm most definitely on a different planet right now. Not much to do here in comparison, but let's talk about the first thing that I noticed immediately, right away. And that is that the airports in America, and I can say this with confidence after I've traveled around the world for the past year, the airports in America are by far the worst experience out of any country that I've ever been to, so far at least. As soon as I got to America, there's a line. There's always lines in the US airports. TSA just seems so inefficient. I don't know what is going on, but yeah, it's really, really bad. And most countries, you know, you go in and out of immigration so smoothly, but in America, every single time that I've been in an airport, there's always a wait, there's always a delay, there's always a line. And that was the first time that my flight got delayed. When I got to America, it got delayed like 3 times. Now granted, they were having some snowstorms and stuff, I'll give them a little bit of a pass, but all through and through, by far the worst experience altogether was once I got to America. And I remember last year when I went to Bali and came back to America, as soon as I got to an American airport, TSA was screaming at people at the top of their lungs, get to the side, stand to the side. I remember last time there was a lady that was about to be late for her flight while she was waiting in the line for security. So she asked some of the people in line if she could jump the line so that she could make sure she got it to her flight on time. And the people in line were okay with it. They're like, yeah, she asked everyone's permission. They're like, yeah, it's fine, no problem. And then the TSA lady comes and says, no, you get to the back of the line. And she's like, well, they gave me permission. They were okay with it. I'm going to miss my flight. No, I don't care. You go to the back of the line. Did you not hear me? And she was like power tripping. And I was like, geez, but I've never seen anything like that anywhere else in any other country but America. But I'm sure it happens in Europe and some places. But yeah, that's one thing that stood out to me. It reminded me like, oh yeah, that's right, I forgot that the airports are really bad here. And the next thing is that as soon as I landed in America, it really stood out to me just how loud Americans are. They talk so loud, especially in public spaces, whereas in Asian countries, Thailand, Japan, Korea, they are very mindful of not disturbing you in public, and they're very aware of these things. They're very aware of, you know, not disturbing other people, treating others, you know, with respect and things like that. Whereas in America, people just talk super loud in the public spaces, and they really don't give a shit. They don't care. They're not mindful of it, and that really stood out. It's like the people were just having conversations so loud, and the voices of some of these women are so annoying, so obnoxious, so like nasally, and yeah, that is something that I wouldn't have noticed before, but I really noticed after being away for so long. But let's talk about some of the good stuff, because it wasn't all bad. I would say the number one thing about America being back here is you get access to same day and next day shipping. That was something that I did miss in Thailand. They have some services, but you know, Amazon next day shipping with Prime and stuff like that is super nice. You can get pretty much whatever. There's a lot of items, electronics and different things that I've been wanting to get, and I can find them in Thailand, but I might have to order and wait for a little bit longer, might be a little bit less selection. So it was nice to take advantage of that while I was here and just order a bunch of stuff that I've been needing. So got to pick up a bunch of cool stuff. I'll show you some of the stuff on the channel in future videos. I got a server as well. I got an Intel NUC. I'm going to be running a full-on, I'm going to build a full-on internal environment with vulnerable machines and stuff like that I'm I'm going to feature in upcoming videos. So definitely stay tuned for that. And by the way, if you are on this journey of cybersecurity, you're trying to break into the field, definitely check down the link in the description below to fill out a brief survey and see how I can help get you on the path to doing that very optimally. But, you know, right back to it, another thing that really stood out to me is the fact that Americans they have this unhealthy obsession with politics. And this is something that I've known. I've even seen this abroad. It's like anytime I'm abroad and I hear people speaking in English and they're talking politics, almost 95% chance they're Americans. It almost never fails. Because yeah, we just have this unhealthy obsession with politics. We always got to be talking about politics every second of the day. That is something that I noticed just like overhearing conversations and stuff like that. It was like the majority of the time it was about politics. And yeah, it's like I've been removed from it for a while, and especially when you don't natively speak the language where you're living. I'm sure people talk about politics occasionally in Thailand around me, but I don't notice it. But here it's a little bit above and beyond. I gotta say, that is like the new religion, right? And yes, another thing, yes, the prices went up. I did notice that, you know, especially being in Thailand for a long time, if I spend like $8 or $10 on a meal, I'm like, oh, that was like a little bit more expensive meal than I would normally pay. But here, it's like, you're not going to find McDonald's for $10 anymore. So yeah, I noticed the price went up, and especially where my dad lives is a bit higher end area. So prices are a little bit higher than the average as well. But yeah, definitely something that I noticed. And also, this was one that I didn't foresee, but it's my experience at restaurants in America compared to in Asia. And I can say pretty much all of Asia. Well, for one thing, well, let me start with the positive. I don't want this to be a complete downer video and all negative. One thing is they do typically get your order right, and it's funny because like a lot of times in Asia, in a lot of Asian countries, they will just bring out your food as it comes, right? They won't bring it all out together. As soon as someone's food's ready, they just bring it to that person. Whereas in America, they wait and bring the food together. So that was one nice thing, and they offer to split the bill. That's another nice thing. And another thing is they get your order right. And a lot of times in Asian countries, for whatever reason, they will just bring the food out and just give it to whoever. And usually they're wrong, and you got to say, no, this person. And then they give the plate to that person. But yeah, I didn't experience any of that in America. No, I didn't go to that many restaurants. I've heard at fast food places, they get your order wrong all the time. So feel free to correct me in the comments. But in my anecdotal experience, everything went well in that sense. But one thing that I didn't like about the restaurant experience in America, something that really stood out to me after being away for so long, is that the waitresses are very pushy. The waiters and waitresses are very pushy. What I mean by that is in Asia, and in Europe as well, if you have a menu and you're looking at the menu, the waiters and waitresses assume that you are still deciding on what you want to order. So they don't pester you, they hang back, and they don't approach you until they see that you put the menu down, you're ready to order. Now I've seen some Westerners not know this and keep looking at the menu just for, to kill the time or whatever, and then they never get approached to give their order, and they're like, what the hell is going on? But for me personally, I like that. I like that they give you your time. You feel like you can take your time, pick what you want. When you're ready, they're going to come. Whereas in America, they're constantly, on top of you. They're like, can I get you anything? You need anything? Like, are you ready to order? Are you ready? Can I put this in order in now? And this and that. And it's like, geez, it's a little bit annoying. In my opinion, I can understand some people like that. For me, I found it a little bit annoying. It was definitely jarring, something that stood out to me. They do seem like a little bit more on top of you, right? But yeah, this is my assessment in, some of the things that stood out to me in America. Have you guys been to Asia? Let me know what stood out to you about Asia. Let me know down in the comment section below, and we'll start the discussion there. But yeah, guys, I will be heading back to Thailand tomorrow. Really excited about that. And I got some more awesome content for you on the way. Like I said, got a whole server that I'm going to be setting up, doing some more technical videos. I know a lot of you guys like that. We're going to be bringing that back. So yeah, definitely stay tuned to the channel. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next one.